So just to conclude this week, I haven't talked that much about, well, I've said the word impact a lot, but I mean, impact is a tricky beast. So we will spend a lot of time talking about impact because it's the whole point of why we're in a particular place, right? It's to generate impact, to impact on the needs, as we keep saying. So it's important to never lose sight of that. The problem about impact is, as I said, you can have a lot of activities and a lot of service position with no or low impact, right? And also you have to understand what if there is an impact on the needs, if the situation improves for the people who are affected, is my impact a direct cause and effect impact, or is it merely a contribution because there's other organizations and other people and people themselves and circumstances and situations or whatever also influencing what happens to these needs. So to attribute yourself direct causal impact on something is very difficult. I would say almost mission impossible, right? Because as I said, a good example is, okay, I have to, my objective is to improve the water and sanitation for displaced people. Okay, so in my activities, I have the drilling of 6 boreholes and the establishing of water points and the distribution of soap, right? So I'm assuming that that's going to, once I do that, that will impact on the clean water that people are available, can have to drink, and on their sanitary situation because they will have soap and water to wash with, right? So that's what that's the kind of the assumption on impact. Okay, but that's not enough, right? Because I could drill boreholes and I could set up water points, and then when I leave, maybe there was no spare parts program that was feasible, or maybe the armed group came and locked the boreholes and started charging people money. A lot of things can happen, and you can have all your boreholes and your water points, but no impact on the people's population because someone started charging them money, or they've broken down and they can't use them for whatever reason. Okay, so impact isn't getting the things done, it's did the people get their water? Then when it comes to the soap, okay, I've determined that soap is a logical thing in a water and sanitation program because defecation being what it is, diarrhea, then malnourishment, etc. So I decide, okay, I'm going to distribute soap. Okay, I can distribute soap, but that doesn't mean that's going to have any impact on people's diarrhea or sanitation, right? Because first of all, how am I monitoring what happens with the soap? How people are using the soap? Are people selling their soap because what they need more is cash? Do people have enough water to wash their hands with soap? Do they like soap? Do they like how it smells? Maybe they need the water for cooking and for washing and don't prioritize hand washing after defecation. And maybe culturally they have other means. So you could distribute a lot of soap and have zero impact or minimal impact as well. So we can't just have a direct link with our activities and impact. No. We have to see what's happening with the initial problem and the initial needs. Okay, there was a water and sanitation problem. I have executed. Now what? What's the situation? We should reassess, right? And we should be reassessing all the time anyway. Yeah. Otherwise, how do you know what the state of the needs are, and how do you know if you're generating any impact on them? You can't wait to the end and kind of go, okay, I've done all my activities, I've achieved all my objectives, yoo-hoo! Impact. Maybe not. Maybe you've done all that, spent a lot of money, and zero impact or minimal impact. Also, who decides impact? Yeah? Are we going to let the people whose needs we are trying to impact on say something about that or not? Or is it just us who's going to decide, yep, tick that box, impact achieved, program implemented, cool. Right? So the people who we're supposed to be helping need to be involved, right? People get very scared when we say things like that. We don't mean like you hire them all, yeah? But I mean, the most logical thing is if you have a group of people who have needs, yeah, whatever the need may be, yeah? Let's say water. They've no water, right? You have to include them in the best way to do that. Because if you do, they're not stupid. They know their place much better than you do, right? Unless you're from there, obviously. And still, more heads are better than a few heads, right? And that tends to be what happens in a lot of design. That's a few heads more than the right heads, yeah? So constantly doing this engagement to check on needs, to check on implementation, to check on impact throughout in a circle. If you look at the slide, you'll see it's not a step-by-step process, a humanitarian invention. It's circular all the time. Yeah, I'm always circling between the three. The three being, I'm circling between needs and design. I'm circling between design and impact. And my implementation is constant, yeah? That's what's taking me from design to impact, right? But I'm constantly circling back and forth, not going in a linear progression, sequential way. Now this, no. If I'm in the design phase, I need to keep checking, okay, is the needs, are they still the same? My design, does it still make sense given the contextual realities? Am I generating impact? What am I seeing? What are people saying? What do the people say? What do they say about my implementation method and tactics, etc.? Yeah, all of these things have to be checked constantly. Yeah, and that's not impossible because it's easy to set. You just have to incorporate into your design and set it up so that your external and your internal environment are constantly informing your intervention.